Welcome back to the Will Hemming Show. As the time goes on, Miss Angie Stone has been laid to rest. But yet, the questions remain. This is one spectacular car wreck, truck wreck, that has pretty much shifted the entire R&B music community, and everyone who listens to anyone who knows who Angie Stone is today is of the opinion that this woman has been whacked. Questions surrounding the event, irregularities, you got a lack of media, a lack of survivors of this incident, which we know there are at least 12, right? You got 9 people in the van, driver 10, the lady who pulled up on the side and got run over by the truck, and then you got the driver of the CRST truck. Now the facts have come, more things have slowly trickled out. I still am not leaning towards a planned attack here. I'm leaning towards accident, because as these things come out, they're getting weirder and weirder and more difficult to be seen as orchestrated. This is wild. Now, everyone goes back to the motive that UMG owes Angie Stone upwards of $50 million from 25 years ago, 20 to 25 years ago. According to her, she said she's been missing this money. She's gone back that far. Okay, now it's all accepted that this is true. I have to ask a question, because I have to know how things work. I ask, how do we know this is true? Miss Angie Stone, young artist, songwriter, singer, she gets signed to a record label, record company. Now, what were the terms of her contract, her original contract? Was she merely an employee of the record company? Was she a contractor? Was she what was her actual thing? Because I'm telling you, the young and impressionable artists are so hungry for a deal. They'll sign anything that these record companies shove in front of their face. Now, did UMG, I'm saying UMG, I'm not sure if it was UMG 25 years ago, Universal Music Group, that's huge company. I don't know if her original record company got bought in. I don't know if she got signed to a smaller company underneath UMG, but she seemed to be accusing UMG of owing her the money. So let's just say UMG signed her. Now, they're a distributor and everything, right? So I'm sure they had an A&R for her, and somebody to walk with her through the process and draw up a contract and have her sign it. Now, I'm supposing here, this is the other side of the story. Now, we got the idea that, yes, they owe her all this money. They don't want to pay her, so they decide to whack her. I'm offering you the alternative here. Now, just suppose, young Miss Stone signs a contract that makes her an employee of UMG. Now, legally speaking, as an employee of a company, anything you create during your employment at the location, at the job, or anything like that is property of that company, not you. If you're using their tools, their studio, their producers, their musicians, whatever, and you're not paying for it all out of your pocket up front, you don't own that music. You don't own those masters. Now, her masters, now I'm talking, that's if you're producing the whole song, right? Now we're talking writing. She's basically saying that she wrote a bunch of songs for a bunch of other people. Now, if you are a writer, staff at UMG, it's not like you've been contracted to produce 4 or 5 albums and you go produce these albums and then they lend you money to run a studio, or lend you musicians, or lend you all this stuff, and then it comes out of your advance or whatever, you know, not your advance, but it comes out of your pay. Now, if they contracted her to make songs, you make songs, in that contract, you'll get a back end on those songs. You'll get publishing, you'll get production, you'll get whatever you do, right? And, you know, you get paid off of how many you sell, this, that, and the other thing. And that's usually the way it goes. Now, you can be brought into a record company as just a writer with no contractual obligation. You just need to write. And we're going to have you write a song for this guy, that guy, that guy. Now, if Angie Stone is in this situation and she's just writing songs for UMG, she doesn't own them. UMG owns them. So those songs may hit for some other artist, right? And that other artist has a separate contract and they'll get paid. UMG will keep the publishing, keep whatever, you know, the writing and all that stuff. Whatever they keep. And that artist gets paid whatever they get paid. But you got paid your contractual money at the time, no matter what that song does that you wrote. That song's not owned by you. You don't own no back end on that song. Now, I'm asking, does Angie Stone come along 25 years later, have a new management team go out and find her songs and say, this song was out there and this did well, this person took it and they made $10 million with it, this person made all this money, we think you deserve more money? And she says, yeah, I think I deserve more money. I wrote those songs. Those are my songs. I wrote them. I think I should be getting paid a whole lot more than I got. And if you come along 25 years later and say that, that does not make you right. In that situation, you don't deserve more money. You are not owed more money, even though you think you should be. And in all honesty, yeah, they should come find you and cut you some more checks, right? That would be the nice thing to do, but we don't live in a nice world. We live in a contractual world. Now, has Angie Stone been in court for the past 25 years over missing royalty checks? Or has she been not knowing and not understanding, and somebody put a bug in her ear and said, hey, they owe you some more money? You say, yeah. And you go out and now you talking all this junk on the radio and TV, talking about they owe me all this money, they might try to do something to me, and I'm talking all this loud, and I don't know what they gonna do, and and I got sick once, and now I think they made me sick. Okay, that's a lot of accusations, that's a lot of stuff. And I've seen people have this kind of stuff in their head and be dead wrong. Now, what I'm saying is, if Miss Angie Stone went to court for a missing royalty check, I mean, when you're owed royalty checks, the first one doesn't come in, you are in court. You are doing something to go get your check that's owed you from this company. I don't think she's been doing that for the past 25 years. I think this is a new thing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, please. Drop it in the comments if I'm wrong. And she has been fighting missing royalty checks all this whole time. I'll give you that. But if she's just thinking she's owed all this money and is not really, that takes away the entire motive for this accident to be a planned, orchestrated hit. Takes it all the way away. So I think we definitely should find that out, or if somebody knows the facts of her contracts with UMG who can elaborate on this. I can't find out any of this on my own. So if anybody knows that, let me know, and let me know where I'm wrong or where I might be wrong. But I'm saying she may not be owed that much money. And if she's not owed that much money by this, now another thing, if Universal Music Group, the giant conglomerate, Universal, that's movies, TV, everything, right? And they have a record, music side to their corporation. If they owed her $50 million, a Universal Music Group is not a one-man show. It is a corporation with a board. of directors with corporate structure and everything, who's the person that orders the hit? When there's a hit ordered on someone, there's one person. 9 times out of 10, there's one person that's personally involved, and they may hire other people to help them out, but there's one person who wants somebody wiped out. I mean, everything but the Melendez brothers. That's the only time I can think when those two equally wanted their parents wiped out for whatever reason, and they did it. But at UMG, if her A&R made promises to her, the A&R just sends it up to corporate and pays the woman. It's not coming out of his pocket. So why does he need to set up an actual deletion? Because he doesn't want corporate to have to write her a check? Or is it somebody on the board at UMG? I mean, who's the one person here with the real motive? The one person who's got to pay it all? Because a whole corporation, a whole corporate board is not going to order a hit. And if they did, it would not look like this. This is a mess. It's a car wreck. How is that 100%? If you are a big time corporate monster and your whole board gets together and says, we want to take out this artist because we don't want to pay them what we owe them, you are going to hire somebody to put a bullet in the back of their head, give them some poison fish, spray arsenic in their face. Shout out to Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman. You are going there's 1,000,010 ways to delete somebody. No, we're gonna stage a car wreck. We're gonna hire all these people. We need at least a guy driving her limo van. We need a truck driver. We need another woman to pull up on the side of the road. All these people now, we gotta pay them off. You're gonna have to pay them big amounts. And then hope they stay quiet. Or else you're gonna have to wipe all of them out too. Now let's see, let's hire 3 people. We're gonna orchestrate a man to drive a van, tell him to flip the van, risk his own life, with 10 other people in it who we don't want to see X'd out, but they're all gonna be in there. We want him to flip the van somehow, right? He drives too fast and he flips it. Not kill yourself, not kill nobody, and apparently, according to stuff that's come out now, not to kill Angie Stone. We want you to injure her a little bit, not enough, no broken legs, no broken bones, and she climbs out of the van with the help of our 3rd accomplice, and she'll set her on the road, and then we have a truck waiting, a corporate truck with a corporate employee driver waiting for the word. She'll place Miss Stone in the roadway and then run over you and Miss Stone, but not hurt you. Just Miss Stone will be gone. Right, baby? Right? See what I'm saying? Tell me how that makes any sense. Is that the way to wipe out one person? I mean, come on. Please, help me out with this. That's where I struggle. Okay? Now, I understand a lot of people are not able to talk about this incident. All the people who are talking about it are gone and missing, and they're out of the picture. They're not saying nothing to the media. Well, there's a reason for that. And I can propose. Now, this is just an alternative universe here that I'm living in, right? Suppose after this crash happens, you got a black messing with my stuff, messing with my flow. We have a black woman, a singer, popular singer, artist, talented artist, deleted, nobody else, and we got a couple of white people at the scene. If this gets in people's heads and gets crazy, cities are going to burn down. Looting will ensue. Okay, that's all it takes. All it takes is one white person to delete a black person, and there are riots, racism calls, BLM comes along, makes lots of money, things happen, and cities get shut down, people lose businesses, they lose their lives, when these riots happen. Now, maybe, just maybe, the authorities involved are trying to keep a lid on all this speculation for just that reason. Maybe. I don't know. And everybody's tight-lipped. They haven't released the video footage from the cab of the CRST truck. But I'm sorry. I just cannot see how this is an orchestrated thing. I would like to find out when that video comes to light, the video from the dash cam comes to light, and we see what the trucker was doing before, during, and after that crash. I doubt we'll have video from the Sprinter van. But that video is the only thing that can shed any light. But my fear is, even if it does come out and it just shows the man swerve and run over Miss Stone or whatever, hit the van a little bit at the bottom, which he had to, because the van had no damage on any side of it, except he was laying on his side. So he had to hit the front nose of the van underneath, you know, because the van was laying on his driver's side before they picked it up. Those Sprinter vans are too tall to flip and rotate. So that flip 3 times thing is another thing I don't understand. It doesn't seem possible. I've seen crashes of Sprinter vans, and with the tall extended part on the top, it makes them really, really long and tall. They lay down once and they stay down. That van had no damage on its roof. None. When the car, there's a video where a car is driving by the van and it's still laying on its side, you can see the roof clearly without a scratch. The back doors on the van, still there. One of them was propped open, but they were still there. The front of the van, windshield looked fine. The top part of the van, which was the passenger side, the door was actually slid open, and that's how they were climbing out of it. That van had to be hit on the bottom and spun into the position it was at when the car came by. So that's another thing. Don't know where Miss Stone was when that van got hit by the CRST truck, and the CRST truck shows damage on the left side of it, and the damage comes up about as high as the van is wide. Just to the bottom of the windshield got damaged and splintered up a little higher, but you can see the impact on the bottom of the windshield on that truck, and everything on the left front, it was pushed back and destroyed. So it hit something real hard on the left side of the cab of that Cascadia. And the Sprinter van had no damage on either body panel, front, back, or passenger side. Driver's side was on the ground, and it did look a little damaged, but who knows what happened. But once this video comes out, that's pretty much all we're gonna have, unless the people start talking and they're believable. But my fear is that no matter what that video shows, we're still gonna walk around claiming she was deleted on purpose, through an orchestrated, multi-vehicle, multi-party highway accident. So time will tell, and we will see as things keep coming. But for now, this is where I stand. I say just think about it. Cooler heads should prevail here, and let's try to look at which one is more realistic. An orchestrated, multi-vehicle, multi-party highway crash involving at least 3 vehicles and a bunch of people, or was this just a simple highway accident? You be the judge until God tells us himself, apparently. Thank you for watching, and please, like I said, if you know anything about this, leave it in my comments. We'll discuss it. We'll break it down. If you got some facts, if you got some knowledge of the situation, I'd love to hear it. But, you know, that's all I got to say for now. Thank you. Okay, I got another question for you. How many of these deletion plots have been found to be true? How many of these people ever got busted? How many times has a seeming accident been found out to be a murder, an elaborate murder plot? How many times has that ever happened? And how many times has a whole company orchestrated one of these plots and made it work? Generally speaking, just found out Yella Beezy is going to jail for a long time. It's a rapper. He wanted somebody removed got it done, paid some hitters, and everything pointed back to him. And he busted, and it's done. Obviously, they had some beef. I don't know the details on all that. It just happened today that he got sentenced or something like that, right? But, yeah, proven, right? The dude at the car wash with his little baby girl. We don't know. It looks like they came for him, and you know they did it with the little lead pellets and ran off, and it seemed like it was just for him. And obviously, that's the way to do it. That's how you do it. I mean, how many times has an elaborate accident, like the stuff movies are made of, you know what I mean? When or you know, somebody flips a car over, shoots somebody, and it's just like, come on, man. This stuff don't happen like this in real life. It's much, much simpler ways to do this. Just can't see it. I mean, even the Boeing guy, there's a guy a while back, last year sometime, testified against Boeing in a trial. That Boeing, like he said at the plant, you know, the workers were messing up, not doing their jobs, and not adhering to quality standards, whatever, right? He testifies this, and then next thing you know, he is wheels up in a parking lot. Now, everybody in the world said Boeing did it. I'm like, why did they wait till after he testified to do it? Because it's going to all point right back to him. And then, again, who at Boeing, what board of directors decided we're going to whack somebody? How does that happen? No, it's one person that wants you gone. One person. Somebody you pissed off enough. Maybe there's more than one, but they rarely get together. Okay? Angie Stone? Who needs to whack Angie Stone? What one person is that? I mean, she knocked out a couple of her daughter's teeth, but I mean, they were still basically, you know, the daughter would not have orchestrated nothing like this if she wanted her to be gone, young Diamond. I'm sure she'd get it done way differently. And but like I said, how many of these murder plots have unraveled and you've come to the conclusion, oh crap, it was a giant conspiracy of a whole bunch of people orchestrated to whack one person. And now, another thing I have, we went over whether or not the company even actually owed her this money. You know, a simple court case could squash the whole thing, right? Now, suppose they do owe her this money. How about pay her? How about make payments? How about file for bankruptcy? I mean, there's a lot of ways to handle it. No, we want to put everybody's life on the line. We want to risk a whole bunch of different lives, jail time or being in the car that flips. We're going to risk all these lives to get out of paying somebody some money we owe them. And like I said, who decides to do that? Who's the one person in that record company that actually did the screwing and is actually responsible for it? I don't. It's too many impossibilities and unlikelihoods in this whole situation that prevent me from pointing the finger at some unknown person and calling them a murderer. I don't know where we go from here, and I don't know if it'll ever be quashed in the minds of the loved ones. I've seen something like, occasionally we watch a lot of, you know, we used to watch Maury all the time. Not Maury, what's the other one? The bald head dude. Steve Wilkos, right? We watch Steve Wilkos. And I can't tell you how many times some little knucklehead has a baby with a girl, and the knucklehead gets deleted. The girl claims not to know nothing about it. You know what I mean? She like, it was at a party, somebody like that. Well, whatever. The family of the boy inevitably accuses that girl of murdering him. Every single time. And it seems to me like that is a reflex. It's a knee-jerk reaction. When you want to see somebody, you want some justice for your missing loved one, you are very quick to blame somebody that you could put your hands on right there on spot. And it's natural. I see it all the time. All the time. Whenever that situation comes up, that family or that gone person accuses the girlfriend, the one that didn't die, of killing the other one. Every single time. I don't know why, but it just is, and it always happens like that. I can tell you from experience, I had a dear friend from high school. She had a boyfriend. They had bought some property together. They did not ever get married. They broke up badly. And they were going through this property thing, right? One owed, the other one maybe. And they were trying to divorce this property they had bought together. And it got ugly between them, very ugly. Well, my friend, the girl in this, she ended up living in one of those houses that they bought together. The boyfriend did not have a house to live in. He was staying with people, oddly, across the street from the house that they once lived in together. She's living her life, going on about her business. He's over here across the street stewing. Well, one Mother's Day, dude comes over across the street with some heavy weight in his hand and finds her, walks into her backyard, finds her at the Mother's Day cookout in the back, chases her through the house, and puts a few in her in the front yard. Her new boyfriend also there. Dude put a couple in him too when he came out to try to help. Then the police showed up and waxed ex-boyfriend. All this happened at the house. That was a murder plot. Okay, that is what happens when you know this person was exed by the boyfriend and girlfriend. And that's something I kind of went through and saw all too real. And I hesitate to blame somebody for that. Now, we had full, in front of everybody else, this all happened. So, I mean, it was full witnesses and everything. The cops had to come wax homeboy. So, I mean, there was no question as to what went on. But when things are that passionate, when somebody wants you gone that bad, that one person is going to try to do it, and they're going to do it messy, and it's going to be ugly, and it's going to be violent, and it's going to be out there for everybody to see. Because he did not care. And I can't look at every situation where somebody gets taken away, taken off earth, and say that they were a victim of a plot. It's just not fair, and it's not really right, especially when you got no evidence. There's not a shred of evidence to support any of this stuff. All you got is irregularities that you don't understand. So, we shall continue.